Well, I've made it to Saturday. I did not make as much progress weeding throughout the week as I intended to, but it's life. I have my peas in baskets. This should be the tall telephone variety, and then those are the purple magnolia sugar snaps. I'm excited to see if that works. That would be pretty cool to have them trail down instead of having to find space in the ground for them. It opens up a whole realm of possibilities, but let's see if it works first before I get excited. I have a lot to do, which is really not different from any other weekend, honestly. But the weeding has gotten a little out of hand, which is about what happens this time of the year, every year. So I am going to just try to take it bed by bed and do some weeding. But yeah, there's plenty of things that still need to be removed. The thing I spent the most time on was the greenhouse beds over the week. I removed a bunch of peppers from there. Those pink banana squashes are massive. You have to see this. He's just like, that's my hand. It's like 3 hands long. He's got a twin back there. Yeah. A lot going on. Baby okra. Bigger okras. Okra flowers are really pretty. With those. And then out here, I've got quite a lot to do. So it looks like holy basil has taken over here in the walkway. So when I pull that out, I'll just dehydrate it and use it for tea. I've got a few beans to harvest. Several noodle beans making their way up. I've got soybeans to harvest. More onions to harvest. I've got to yank out the zucchini, which is why that's there, because I left in the middle of that when it started to rain. I've got tomatoes to collect. A bunch of weeds to pull. I think a couple of the beets are ready. I've got a bunch of ground cherries. And I've got some dying leaves on that spaghetti squash I need to take care of. Cucumbers to do. Tomatoes. That nonsense over by the bird bath is absolutely just weeds. So I need to take care of that. And then this Viola rugosa is also kind of going bonkers. But I need to deadhead these cosmos so that they can keep giving me a flush of flowers. I need to weed in that bed. And I harvested my most beautiful cabbage and plucked off a bunch of leaves. I weeded this bed, believe it or not. And I need to harvest more things out of it this time. And then that guy down there might be ready now. But I need to make little supports for these Long Island cheeses. I've got at least 2 of them dangling underneath that I'm wanting to get to full maturity. So I should definitely keep them from falling. You can purchase little melon hammocks, little nylon rope things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have extra macrame rope that I'm just going to basically use like a cat's cradle to support that. Yeah, lots of chamomile to harvest, lots of celery to harvest so I can dehydrate it. Got some dill coming in. Yeah, let's go check the other side. I had a pretty heavy rain, so this tobacco jasmine is leaning quite a bit. I'm going to, before fall is done, clear out these pots, and I'm going to put some ferns in them to bring inside. But today I need to harvest chamomile. It's about time to take those walking onions and put them in a pot for my friends. I have a bunch of weeds to pull here. I need to harvest some yarrow. The garlic chives are beautiful. I need to take down some of that comfrey and put it in the compost. The potatoes are in here somewhere. They're a little overrun by weeds. I need to take care of that as well. And then amaranth is glorious. Got some beans mixed in with weeds over here. Gomphrena still holding its own. Got some okra. And my cilantro went to seed. Whatever that volunteer situation is in the third compost bin down there is absolutely losing its mind. I've had an interesting time with finding bugs I'm not used to seeing. I have not seen praying mantises in my garden at all. But yeah, I was harvesting wonderberries the other day, and there were baby praying mantises, and certainly not upset about that. Those definitely are beneficial insects. I've seen a lot of lacewings, which is my first year to see those. Very early this spring in the greenhouse, I saw hoverflies. I also saw a couple bee mimics, which is a really interesting thing if you want to do a general search on that. Bee mimics are just a really neat subset of bugs. It's been a good year to see how the ecosystem of the garden has evolved and grown with time, because the garden has gotten larger in that time, and while I've been using the same general organic practices, it's good to see these various insects making this a home. That means that the things I'm doing are working. So we got a good part of these walkways, this bed, that bed, husband did. This looks way better. It's pretty queen lime zinnia. Some cosmos going to seed. Then over here was just a bunch of stabby thistles. Much better now. And then I got around the outside of this bed. By the time I got to this side, that side, I was tired. So I just pulled it away from the bed, but got in this bed, in this pathway, and in this bed. I also thinned out some of the wonderberries. And then I harvested a couple more things from back there. Got my little macrame supports on these Long Island cheeses. So they're all set. Harvested some chamomile. So yeah, not done, but much better. There is certainly a lot more to do, but I'm either gonna have to wait until tonight when it's cooler or tomorrow morning when it's cooler. We're at 79 degrees. It's a high of 84, so we're not even at the peak of the day, but I'm done. I'm tired. It's gross. So I'm gonna grab my iced coffee, my water, and the things I harvested, including celery. I'm gonna dehydrate that to use in stews. And yeah, there's more I can do, but I'm out of energy. Heat really really takes it out of me. I'm not built for that. So, I see a couple okras I should grab before I go in. Thanks for coming along with me while I made some progress in getting the garden under control. Catch you next time. So yeah, I have, you are a massive dragonfly.